Coming to you live from Nairobi, Kenya. This is TV47 News Tonight. To topics this evening. Tonight, 8 people confirmed dead and 3 others injured in a bandit attack at Kurkum village in
the last elections.
Residents issue a raft of demands ahead of the politically significant tour.
Zingatie na atilie maanani zaidi ya kwamba kaunti yetu ya Siaya bado iko nyuma zaidi katika kimaendeleo.
Good evening, welcome to the broadcast. Catherine Simaloi is on the sign language interpretation. My name is Stanley Iringita. Tonight we start on a low note where tension is at an all-time high in Kurkum village in Laisamis, Marsabit County after 3 children and 5 adults were killed and 3 others injured in a bandit attack. Now confirming the incident, Marsabit County Police Commander Robinson Boloi said about 15 bandits armed with firearms raided the village at around 6 a.m. on Thursday. The attackers are said to have opened fire, killing 8 people, among them 3 children and 5 men. According to the police commander, the bandits made away with a known number of camels and goats during their dawn attack. Now, 2 of the injured were taken to Marsabit Referral Hospital, while one of the victims was said to be airlifted to Nairobi for specialized treatment. Up to now, a multi-agency security team has since been deployed to pursue the attackers.
Hata mama huyu aliongea mzuri. Hili nami pia alisikia vile mambo yako kweli. Na mama akasema tuambieni ukweli. Mimi sijui mtasiku mahali mchaka tu. So mimi natoa ile 20 ya kusindikiza hiyo mahindi. Alafu mpate kununua.
And hopefully the attackers will be apprehended as time flies. Now, DCI officers from the homicide unit today visited the late Edwin Kipto, alias Chiloba's home, to conduct an investigation on the scene of murder. The officers went to the deceased house in Chepkoilel, Eldoret town, to sample forensic evidence which will be used in court during the hearing of the murder charge. This comes after Egerton University, the main suspect, confessed to killing Edwin Chiloba on Wednesday. The government chief pathologist Dr. Johansen Oduor revealed that, according to the post-mortem results, suffocation was the main cause of death. That President William Ruto has warned politicians against interfering with security matters of the country. While speaking during the 49th passing out parade where 991 GSU recruits graduated in Embakasi after rigorous 9-month training, Ruto further directed the security personnel to deal firmly with bandits. Listen in. In their official regalia, these 991 GSU recruits showcased their skills in the 49th GSU passing out parade in Embakasi College Thursday. And after inspecting the parade, President William Ruto awarded those who had performed well after a rigorous 9-month training.
Wale mumetrain na wao hapa, wale mtafanya kazi na wao Kenya, wao ni ndugu zenu, wao ni madada zenu kuliko hata wale mumezaliwa na wao.
While defending his move to relocate the police budget from the office of the president to the office of the inspector general, Ruto cautioned politicians from interfering with security matters.
Nimesema mimi nataka askari wetu wa polisi wafanye kazi ya polisi, wachunge usalama, wachunge mali yetu, wachunge watoto wetu, wachunge biashara zetu. Mambo ya siasa itafanywa na wanasiasa, na nawauliza wanasiasa wote wawachane na askari wetu wa polisi.
The security personnel have also been directed to deal firmly with banditry attacks and cattle rustling, further noting that the new cohorts will be deployed to troubled areas. At the same time, the president has operationalized the County Policing Oversight Authority, which is set to work with both the county governments and the national government in a bid to deal with the runaway insecurity.
Tunataka kila mwananchi ajumuike na kujua mambo ya usalama katika kijiji yake, katika mahali anaishi.
Last year November, Nairobi County Governor Johnson Sakaja, together with the Inspector General Japheth Koome, formed the Nairobi County Policing Oversight Authority, which is expected to be a game changer to the county's security.
We, in consultation with the command of the National Police Service and the other agencies in this sector, are working towards reviewing and updating the curricula of these institutions in this sector to ensure that they respond to the complexities of the security challenges our country is facing today.
Just after the election, Nairobi County faced a lot of disorder. Crime had shot up. We had a lot of cases of muggings. But working closely with the National Police Service through the leadership of our new Inspector General, I'm sure you have noted that those cases and incidences have gone down. Tunakushukuru sana Rais kwa sababu ni wewe ambaye ulitupa ruhusa kufanya kazi pamoja. Hapo mbeleni county governments hazikuwa zinafanya kwa umoja au kwa ukaribu.
For the third day consecutively this week, the president has presided over a series of passing out parades with a total of 5,867 officers drawn from the National and Administration Police and GSU graduating.
A banquet of flowers. Please receive it.
Okay, my dear.
And as these new cohorts await to be deployed to various parts of the country, they expect a reformed service. Even as the David Maraga-led task force continues to dig into the terms and conditions of officers. Now to the corridors of justice. Safari rally driver Maxine Wahome will now be investigated for the murder of slain lover Asad Khan. According to Senior Principal Magistrate Bernard Ochoi, the police have closed the file that previously investigated the deceased girlfriend for grievous harm following the death of Asad in the month of December. Zainab Mohammed with more.
Maxine, who was presented in court on Thursday, had been charged with causing grievous harm to late Khan in a scuffle last month. State Prosecutor James Gashoka on Thursday told the Milimani Law Court Senior Principal Magistrate Bernard Ochoi that circumstances in the matter have changed following the death of Asad Khan. On the other hand, the family of the deceased Safari rally driver requested the court to allow them to be looped into the investigation, saying they might be helpful in uncovering the truth behind what could have led to the death of their kin.
Counsel for the respondent has indicated or has raised his concerns about the participation of the victim's counsel in the investigations, but Mr. Umbeta for the victim has clarified that they are not involved or participating in investigations, but that they merely pointed out to the investigators key areas which they felt had not been considered in the investigations. I find nothing wrong in this, and therefore I think that issue should be is laid to rest.
Rally driver Asad Khan passed away on Sunday, December 19th, after battling for his life at the high dependency unit at a city hospital after he was allegedly assaulted by his girlfriend Maxine Wahome. Senior Principal Magistrate Bernard Ochoi ordered Wahome to keep reporting to the DCI Kilimani every Thursday, as the police are yet to receive DNA results from the government chemist and other crucial reports. Maxine was arrested on December 12th and detained at Kilimani Police Station after a report of the assault was reported by Adil Khan, Asad's younger brother. Wahome, who has denied any wrongdoing, hogged the limelight when she became the first Kenyan woman to win the third-tier WRC Safari Rally in June last year. The case will be mentioned next on January 30th. Zainab Mohammed, T47.
And Human Rights Watch Kenya, while launching its report Thursday, has placed the Independent Policing and Oversight IPOA at the receiving end on its mandate of keeping in check the police conduct. Now, Moige William with that report.
Extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearance remain among the biggest retrogressive element in human rights in the country. This according to a report released by the Human Rights Watch Kenya, with a spotlight shifting focus to police officers. Statistics by the lobby group indicate there were over 187 cases of police killings and disappearances recorded in 2022. Out of the 187, 32 were forced disappearances, while the rest were killings.
The IPOA, the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, has taken some steps to investigate and prosecute some of the police officers involved. The rate of success has been very minimal. From 2013, I think we are talking about over 10,000 cases reported to IPOA, but only about 17 successful prosecutions have been realized so far.
The Independent Policing and Oversight Authority, IPOA, sole responsible being to conduct independent and impartial investigations, inspections and monitoring of the National Police Service to enhance professionalism and discipline, has seemingly failed to live to its expectations in holding accused police officers to account in a bid of ending police brutality.
Accountability to that extent is still a challenge. That even then, IPOA itself is only able to, at least the trend we have observed, IPOA has been able to prosecute only the less politically sensitive cases. The politically sensitive cases or officially sanctioned killings and disappearances, IPOA has not been able to investigate.
Further, in the report, the country recorded a high number of extrajudicial killings in 2022, pointing out the case were rampant in the coast region, northern Kenya and Nairobi, with the biggest discovery being that of bodies in River Yala. Earlier, President William Ruto came out guns blazing on the matter, revealing he indeed fired the former Director of Criminal Investigation, Boss George Kinoti, due to the rising cases of unexplained killings.
There will be no extrajudicial killings in the government of Kenya under my administration. Yeah, that is a chapter we must close and weld and bolt and put it behind us. I have sat down with the command of the police from the IG downwards, and we have agreed that they will operate within the law.
However, Human Rights Watch Kenya has called out the president to put up more tangible measures to address the issue and offer a long-term solution.
I think he has taken very strong public positions, but the tangible steps to be taken to ensure accountability for some of those cases, I don't think we have seen any of those steps. He disbanded SSU, but he has created another one as well.
Among the first directives of President Ruto once he assumed power was to disband the Directorate of Criminals Special Service Unit SSU, which he termed a death squad. Consequently, 9 officers arraigned in court. Moige William, TV 47.
And just a few days after it was revealed that DNA kits will be available at 800 Kenyan shillings, the Pharmacy and Poisons Board has warned consumers over unauthorized home DNA test kits. In a statement to newsrooms, the Pharmacy and Poisons Board raised concerns over some unregulated DNA kits being marketed on digital platforms for retail in the Kenyan market. PPB further stated that they are yet to authorize any retailer to sell the kits. One of our top stories this evening. Kasavuli, a renowned newscaster, has been eulogized as the best newscaster to ever grace Kenya's screens. Kasavuli, who succumbed to cervical cancer, died on the 29th of December last year at the Kenyatta National Hospital, where she was receiving treatment. And this particular eulogy happened at the Friends International College along Gong Road, where a number of high political, faces and high, government officers actually were there. Take a look at that particular story, produced and done by Andrew Clemmy.
Thursday afternoon at the Friends International Center in Nairobi. Hundreds of mourners, including friends, family, and even the political class, thronged the church to accord the fallen newscaster her last respect. A white coffin bearing Kasavuli's remains was carried with her only child, Martin Kasavuli, leading the pallbearers into the church.
Every time she walked in to come and do the news, I will not lie about this one, and sorry, Martin, your mother wore very good perfume to her last day. I know that because I stopped by her hospital bed.
You know, my friends would say, my God, you're actually sitting next to Catherine Kasavuli. How does it feel? As that is for me to know and for you to find out.
Martin, son of the late TV queen, eulogized her mother as a kind, elegant, humorous, respectful, and down-to-earth woman who was willing to help whenever called upon.
She was proud of me, but I liked her to keep it quiet. I did not want her to talk about me. So one of the first fights we had, we call them fights, but we had disagreements, is please don't put my name in the newspaper when you're being interviewed, and kindly don't put my picture. She says, but how do they know I have a child?
Gine iko tu ni mzuri. Anakaa Ulaya, ananileteanga pesa, but Catherine was the best.
Her colleagues in the media industry plus other government officials described Kasavuli as a legend who nurtured and inspired the young and upcoming journalists.
Catherine was always available to help when anyone needed her. And I want to say that she is gone, but her spirit lives on.
A great lady by any measure, incredible soul, amazing professional, who truly shattered the glass ceiling and unleashed the full force of girl power on the screen.
Kasavuli breathed her last on the night of Thursday, the 29th of December 2022, at the Kenyatta National Hospital, where she was receiving treatment after a long battle with cervical cancer. Until her demise, Kasavuli worked as a news anchor at the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, KBC. Kasavuli will be laid to rest Saturday at her rural home in Vihiga County. Andrin Kilemi, TV 47.
And once again, may his soul rest in eternal peace. Now to Kenyan roads. Residents of Nairobi who use Waiyaki Way from Kangemi to Tigoni have complained over what they term as non-completion of construction of 5 underpass roads in the area. Now they say the predicament continues to slow down their normal activities, besides causing unnecessary damage of private and public vehicles. They want the Kenya National Highways Authority, that is KENHA, to finish up the road construction project initiated in 2017 so as to save them from the inconveniences they are currently facing. Mike Kagongo reports.
About 18 kilometers from the Nairobi Central Business District to Tigoni area, along the busy Waiyaki Way. Here, road construction which commenced in 2017 is over, and drivers using it have every reason to smile. However, challenges are in plenty for those using the underpass roads, whose construction is not yet complete. Non-completion of the Keno, Odero and Kangemi roads remains a misery to drivers here.
Before COVID walisema COVID iko wakasimama, sasa wameachilia barabara. Up to now watu wote wamerudi kazini, hawajarudi kazini. Tunabadilisha bushes kila saa hapa, few kilometers, kitu kama kilomita 2. Tunashinda garage. Ile pesa unapata ukifanya kazi unapeleka garage.
Zinatubidi mpaka garage all the time, gari imeharibika, ile imekata spring. Then tuna safari refu, sababu mimi nafaa kutumia kama bridge, kuna bridge kwa hapa chini, ndio nafaa kutumia nikienda terminals ya Udhiru. But unfortunately juu iko incomplete na kuna mahali hajamalizika walifunga, tunabidi tunatumia njia refu tukatumia tunnels.
Drivers have to be extra careful because of lack of sufficient lighting, which could be recipe for accidents along the road.
Service road, watu wa biashara wamerudi kwa service road wote. Kwa hivyo sasa barabara imekuwa kidogo
Service road ndio iko na jam kuliko sasa highway. So Kenya washughulikie sana mambo ya service road. Hiyo ndio iko na changamoto kubwa na ndio tuko na shida nayo.
Hiyo mambo ingine ni watu kuongwa. Ukiangalia kama penye watu wanavukia, hakuna mahali watu wanaweza vukia. So ni kuvuka wanagongwa. Kuna watu wamegongwa wengi sana, especially Muthiga 87 Corporation na pia hata hapa Kino.
Residents want the Kenya National Highway Authority KENHA to complete the project as soon as possible.
Hata magari zenyewe wenye magari upande wa kitu inaitwa kama maintenance iko juu kwao. Juu mostly ukiangalia tayari ya gari kulingana na barabara vile ziko, consumption ya mafuta imeenda juu. So Kenya wenye ko responsible atuangalie sana.
Meanwhile, residents of Waruku along the Waiyaki Way have protested due to an increase in the number of accidents occasioned by lack of a safe footbridge.
Tuko na kijiji pale na hao watu wanaishi pale kijiji. Kwa hiyo tuna umuhimu kama Kenya na serikali waweke hapa footbridge. Inaweza kuwa vizuri.
Government badala ya kuweka footbridge imeka rubber bumps. Kwa baada sisi wenye magari tunameja kupiga zile rubber bumps all the day from morning to evening. So tungeomba Kenya wafanye ile kitu kazi yao vile inafaa.
Our efforts to get a response from Kenya, however, failed to bear fruits.
About 3 kilometers from here to where a footbridge is erected before Westlands area, and another 3 kilometers to Kangemi, a situation that has left Waruku residents exasperated, asking Kenya to act with speed and erect another footbridge here. Mike Kagwango, TV 47, Nairobi.
And speaking of roads, all roads will be leading to the Lake region for President William Ruto now. President William Ruto is tomorrow expected to kick off a 2-day working tour of the Nyanza region, where he is expected to commission various development projects and meet the region leaders. President's first development tour to opposition leader Raila Odinga's political bucket has seen leaders from the region table a wish list of projects they hope will be implemented. TV47's Apollo Kamau reports on a trip which with huge political significance.
President William Ruto's 2-day tour of Nyanza will see him traverse the counties of Homa Bay, Siaya and Kisumu, perceived as Azimio coalition leader Raila Odinga's political bastion. The president, who last visited Homa Bay County for a Thanksgiving church service in October last year, is expected to meet local leaders at Tom Mboya University on Friday morning, commission the Homa Bay market, and launch the first phase of the 5,000 affordable housing program in Homa Bay.
The president will launch several projects that directly impact on the lives of the people, in line with the government's bottom-up economic agenda that places premium, of course, on economic transformation, especially for those at the bottom of the economic pyramid.
On Saturday, the president will be in Kisumu and Odinga's home county of Siaya, where he will commission a Blue Economy Research Hub at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University of Science and Technology. Apart from commissioning other projects in the region, he will also attend the homecoming ceremony of ICT CS Eliud Owalo at Rarieda, Siaya County.
Let's come out and welcome the president unreservedly. The Kenya Kwanza government is rolling out development programs across the entire country indiscriminately, irrespective of the voting patterns that we witnessed during the last election.
So this trip to Nyanza by the head of state is very important because it will communicate that William Ruto is not a vindictive person. It's a person who is willing to develop this country, every part of this country, regardless of whether that region voted for him or not.
The president tour has heightened expectations in the region, with leaders and residents proposing a wish list of projects they hope will be implemented by the Kenya Kwanza government. In Homa Bay alone, Homa Bay Town MP Peter Kaluma, while welcoming the president, listed 10 projects he wants the Kenya Kwanza government to address. In Kisumu, the Kisumu cotton mills and the setting up of fishery companies to process fish are high on the agenda. In Siaya, residents have cited industries, health and water projects.
As Ruto is going to Nyanza, he should know and is aware that the people of Nyanza pay their taxes very religiously and very loyally. They are very loyal in payment of the taxes. Therefore, they deserve development in Nyanza region. As he goes to Nyanza, he should know that there are different companies that need revival.
We don't want to see our leaders who are elected opposing the issue of coming of President Ruto. We want to be specific, more so to the governor of Siaya. He is the president of the county. Yes. Let him make sure that he's there in that meeting.
The president's trip is also loaded with political significance, given the region voted for almost to a man to Odinga in last year's presidential election. With 2027 at the back of the president's mind, the tour presents a perfect opportunity to woo the region, with Odinga's 2027 candidacy still uncertain.
After this visit, I highly suspect that the president is going to have a lot more lures into his government than he has so far. And then if you are going to give people what the people call development, it's going to be very easy for you to take the region, especially if Raila is not running in 2027.
Apul Kamau, TV47.
Now, meanwhile, the speakers of the National Assembly and the Senate have promised to support women parliamentarians to achieve the two-thirds gender role. The speakers admitted that the delay in enacting the law on representation was not healthy and hence the need to fast-track the process. Willie Dennis Njiru attended day one of the Kenya Women Parliamentary Association, that is GOtv, induction workshop, and here is his story.
The women leaders under the Kenya Women Parliamentary Association, GOtv, says they have put political affiliations and interests aside and are now focused on championing on the rights of women leaders and even the female constituency, which has most members of registered voters.
We must have an agenda that GOtv is pushing in the House beyond just we need more women, because there is this perception that when we push for women in leadership, it's about women's issues. But what are women's issues?
We now have 102, if I'm not wrong, 102 women parliamentarians domiciled in the Senate and in the National Assembly, 63 of them newly elected. The elections also ushered into office 7 women governors, the highest number so far.
The leaders have lauded the 12th Parliament for pushing a legislative agenda for women leadership opportunities that have begun bearing fruit in the 13th Parliament, even as they fight for the two-third gender parity principle, which remains elusive.
Even if you are speaking in your respective parties, you are saying the same thing. What the women in ODM are saying about two-thirds, the women in Kenya Kwanza are saying about two-thirds. We don't want to see women divided by men around their interests, because our tribe is women.
We are women first before we are politicians. Our struggles are similar, and we should therefore be determined to deal with our issues collectively and to be comfortable with the fact that we will always not agree.
GOtv therefore provides the much-needed common platform with the sole purpose of carrying the national women leaders' aspirations and agenda and ensuring they win as one.
We must also have affirmative action for women within our parties. Because if the parties don't have that affirmative action.
The Kenya Women Parliamentarian Association, GOtv, is a caucus of women parliamentarians in Kenya, established and registered in 2001. Its membership is drawn from the sitting women parliamentarians, i.e. from the National Assembly, single constituency members, county women members, and nominated women members, and the Senate comprising of the elected and nominated women senators.
Until it becomes a norm in Kenya for us to have women in leadership, that it is not something that becomes an afterthought or something that we must fight for, but that it is a guarantee that we are going to have equal spaces for men and for women.
Given space through nomination and other affirmative action programs, women can easily excel. This is a huge milestone on the gender equality and women empowerment discourse in this country.
My brother King and myself want to assure you we'll walk this journey with you. We'll walk the talk. Our doors are open. as chair of PSC, formulate whatever you want, come and see me. If it makes sense to me, I'll make it happen for you.
The 13th Parliament scooped 82 female members in 2022, up from 76 in 2017. 29 single-member constituencies, up by 6 in 2017, with Nakuru County taking the lead.
It is a space where, as women from different political parties, different political persuasions, women leaders can speak with one voice on the irreducible minimums that women can negotiate within.
Reporting for TV 47 from Naivasha in Nakuru County, I'm Willie Dennis Njiru.
The gender agenda, one particular major talking point that when the 13th Parliament resumes next month, it will be definitely being discussed. On that note, we take a short break. You're watching TV 47 News Tonight. Stay with us.
Starting your academic journey here at the foot of Mount Kenya, a place where you can call home, a place where we celebrate our diversity and uniqueness, a place where you can be at your best, at work and at play. That place is Embu College. There's no better place to make the difference than Embu College. Karibu Embu College, where a holistic education matters.
Are you looking for a distinguished institution of academic and professional excellence to kickstart your career? Then join KIPS Technical College, a top-neck, CASNEB and NEET examination center in Kenya that is fully accredited by TVET Authority with over 90% national exam pass rate. We offer high-quality, hands-on training in engineering, hospitality, tourism, journalism, ICT, business, accounting, hairdressing and beauty, health sciences, community development and foreign language, and have placed over 26,000 graduates since 1994. Our state-of-the-art equipment, well-equipped workshops, indoor and outdoor sports facilities make us the preferred choice.
During my training, I was able to become Miss KIPS, which has helped me to achieve my goals in community development.
Admissions for January 2023 intake is ongoing. For more information, call 0720-813-113 or visit any of our 6 campuses located within Nairobi. KIPS Technical College, your sure path to success.
Tricent School of Medical Health Science and Technology is a premier training institute for market-driven courses. With state-of-the-art facilities, competent and dedicated members of staff, and linkages with the medical industry, you are assured of a bright future when you study with us. Enroll today in our campuses at Juja, Nairobi West, Kisumu, and Homa Bay.
Usiyakubalie maumivu ya misuli kukatiza ratiba yako. Kaluma Pain Balm ni dawa ya kusugua iliyotengenezwa kutoka kwa miche maalum ili kutuliza maumivu ya misuli. Kaluma Pain Balm. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Usienda nayo huko ndani, unaacha hapo kwa luggage ndio uingie.
Ni wacho kwa luggage namna gani nataka kutumia huko ndani? Nimekuja na hii gani ndio inatumika? Hii paketi ama hii kuchota? Kwani serious hii? Bwana wacheni mchezo bwana. Nini?
Karibu customer. Hizi bidhaa unaziacha pale kwenye luggage ndipo sasa ufanye shopping kwa supermarket yetu. Kuchota ni kufanya shopping pekee.
Ni kufanya shopping.
Sema na Hetia Supermarket ndio best. Kwa mara nyingine tena, Hetia Supermarket inakuletea chota kuchota na Hetia Supermarket. Kushiriki shindano la chota kuchota Bunawe, Kitale, Bungoma, Eldoret, Kakamega, Kisumu, Busia, Naivasha, Limuru, Nairobi, Thika, Nyeri, Meru, Chuka na Maua. Nunua bidhaa ya shilingi 600 na zaidi na utapewa raffle ticket. Jaza vizuri na utumbukize kwa sanduku iliyo mlangoni. Utakuwa umeingia kwa draw ya kujishindia zawadi Hatsumira, pikipiki 21 aina ya TVS, 1130 school fees, TVS shopping vouchers na vingine vingi.
Basi, ni huku. Saidia mimi.
Chota kuchota imethaminiwa na Uwe Bacon, Savannah Juice Fruit Vial, My Choice Hand Wash, Zesta Choco Primo, Ketepa, Blue Band, Aramco, Oven Fresh Bread, Nivea, Silent Night Mattresses, Coca-Cola pamoja na Hisense. Shindano hili limeidhinishwa na BCLB permit number 002816. Sheria na masharti kutumika.
Chota kuchota na Heti ya Supermarket, na hii motokaa gari smart kabisa inaweza kuwa yako. Unangoja nini? Ingia, fanya shopping yako Heti ya Supermarket, uchoto kuchote na hii kari. Hii motokaa inaweza kuwa yako. Mtu anaweza pesa kwa buti.
Heti ya Supermarket, a world of choice.
It's 24 minutes past the top of the hour. Thank you for your patronage so far. Now, the U.S. government and Kenya have declared war on terrorism in the wake of terror attacks in the region, even as the U.S. government offers a reward of 1.2 billion Kenyan shillings to anyone who will help in arresting a wanted terror suspect connected to the 2019 Dusit D2 hotel complex attack. Collins Lusweti with more.
In a statement today, the U.S. government officials led by its ambassador to Kenya, Meg Whitman, have indicated they are determined to bring those responsible for the Dusit attack to justice, an attack that left at least 22 people dead.
Today, I am announcing a reward of up to $10 million for information leading to the arrest or conviction in any country of Mohammed Abdi Aden and any other individual who committed, attempted, or conspired to commit or aided or abetted in the commission of the 2019 attack on the Dusit D2 hotel complex in Nairobi, Kenya.
In addition, the U.S. government has promised to protect the privacy of all those who will come forward with information. On January 15, 2019, a suicide bomber self-detonated outside the hotel with other members of the terror group armed with automatic rifles and grenades, seeking to kill bystanders in the hotel. The U.S. government now says the chief architect of the attack was one Mohammed Abdi Aden, leader of the terror Al-Shabaab group.
Mohammed Abdi Aden, an Al-Shabaab leader, was part of the cell that planned the Dusit 2 hotel attack. On October 22nd, the U.S. Department of State designated Aden as a specially designated global terrorist.
Officials say the attack was carried out on a significant date, coinciding with the third anniversary of Al-Shabaab's sovereignty of Kenya Defense Forces based in El Alde in Gedo region. This is the second time in 2023 that the U.S. government is seeking to hold Al-Shabaab militia behind an attack on Kenyan soil accountable. On Thursday, January 5th, the U.S. announced a Kenya shilling 1.2 billion reward for attackers involved in the Manda Bay airfield military base. The two governments have agreed to work together to improve security in the region by combating terror.
Seeking for the arrest of wanted terror mastermind of the 2019 Dusit D2 attack that led to the loss of 21 lives.
Collins Lusweti, TV 47.
And Egerton University dons have threatened to strike following the institution's notice of intent to declare redundancy issued in late December last year. The lecturers now want the VC, Professor Isaac Kibwange, to resign from the position and pave way for new leadership. Chichi Josephine with that story.
Led by Uasu Egerton Chapter Secretary Dr. Grace Kiboe, the dons say that Kibwange and the University Council should resign if the institution is to get back on its feet, as the institution has in the last 2 years been sinking into debt with its workers due to its failure or inability to pay them their full salaries.
So we are asking them with all humility that they should do the honorable thing. That is to leave the offices and other people can occupy them, and we see how we can solve this problem of Egerton.
Besides that, the dons have decried the handling of a notice to declare redundancies issued in late December, an issue the dons say could lead to an industrial action.
The notice has been used in a manner that is not consistent with obtaining laws. And it has been issued at a time when a lot of workers have left Egerton to look for greener pastures. Because actually for 2 years you are working and you are paid half. You can only tell your people that you have worked for 1 year and somebody has stolen from you a whole year.
They pointed fingers at the management, which is accused of high-handedness in addressing issues relating to workers' welfare despite a promise to turn around the institution when they took over.
They have escalated hostilities by issuing letters of disciplinary, and actually even after we answered them correctly, they have now invited Chairman, Professor Ngare, and the Secretary to appear before a disciplinary panel.
Kibwe noted that despite the court directing the management and the lecturers to find an outside court settlement of their battle surrounding pay cuts since 2021, no progress had been registered. Instead, the hostility of the management towards the Dons has increased.
Currently, 2 orders have been violated. One asking the university to pay 100%. And we wonder, why does the council seem to enjoy immunity when it comes to matters of courts? And as people who are law-abiding continue to be exploited.
On his part, Uasin Gishu chapter chairperson Professor Mourning called on the government to undertake a rapid resort initiative, warning that all operations at the university are likely to stall.
Basically, Egerton Council and its management have converted us into slaves. We have not been paid all our dues from 2017, and they don't seem to be doing anything about it. If they were, by 5 years now, they should have sorted out the issue.
Teach Josephine, TV47.
And to County 001, Mombasa Governor Abdul Somad Nasir now says that funds set aside to cater for the county's healthcare sector will not be interfered with so as to enhance service delivery through the purchase of essential medical equipment. Speaking after receiving a report from a task force appointed to look into the county's health sector, Nasir vowed to embrace technology in boosting the sector as well as digitize health records and employ enough healthcare workers to curb cases of doctors' strike. The report also recommended that the governor should set up a rehabilitation center and expand the county's public health facilities like the Coast General Referral Hospital. The task force was chaired. The task force that is chaired by former KMPDU Secretary General Dr. Chibanzi Machonda stated that a survey in 37 out of 46 dispensaries showed that residents were impressed with low cost of drugs and medical services.
Chini kabisa itajulikana ya kwa kweli huyu aliweza kupata dawa fulani ama hakuipata ile dawa fulani, na ununuzi wa madawa yale tunataka yawe ni katika sekta moja, iwe ni ununuzi ni mmoja wa Mombasa nzima, ili bei ya dawa ilonunuliwa katika hospitali ya Coast General bei ile ile ndio inafaa kutumika katika clinic pale ya chini. Mambo ya watu kuweza kulipa pesa, unasema ya kuwa aliambiwa sijui akanunue kitabu cha shilingi 20 ama nini, hayo tunataka kuyakata na kuyaua yaingie katika kaburi la sahau. Tutatumia hawa ndugu zetu CHWs waweze kuwa katika mstari wa mbele. Kuna sheria zenye kuhusiana na mambo ya CHWs waweze kuweka katika retention, na itakuwa ni njia ya kuweza kuimprove ama kuweza kuboresha afya katika jamii.
We've recommended repurposing of one Chuda hospital into a child and maternity hospital, repurposing of Likoni Hospital into a surgical specialty hospital, repurposing Vita to become an ENT specialty hospital, Coast General Utange Outfield Hospital to become the County Infectious Disease and Research Center, so that in case of any infectious diseases from the TBs, in case we have outbreaks of like what we had, COVID and even Ebola, it shouldn't be a problem in this county anymore once that facility is repurposed and fully set up and launched, which the governor is very keen to do.
And Kotusek Jen Francis Atolina wants the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, to name the people alleged to have grabbed and benefited from the Galana Kulalu land project. The Deputy President earlier this week alleged that some people within the Azimio coalition grabbed land, the Galana Kulalu project, together with public money meant to support the project. This comes barely 2 weeks after President Ruto revoked the planned subdivision of 245,029 acres at the land.
Kwa jini nilisikia deputy yake Bwana Rigathi akisema kuna watu katika hii Azimio tulikuwa walienda kule Galana wakagawanyana mashamba, wengine wakakimbia na pesa za serikali. Ningelipendelea atoe majina ya hao watu itangazwe, hata kama wapelekwe kotini, tujue kumbe pia katika basi yetu kulikuwa na wakora. Hiyo kitu nataka serikali ikiwezekana, they must come up and mention the names of those people who are involved in shady deals. And they were claiming to be supporters of Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta.
And definitely something that we'll be keeping an eye on, the naming of the Galana Kulalu project and how it will benefit the residents of that particular region, since the former president Uhuru Kenyatta actually, gave this particular land to these people. Now, moving on. It is a sigh of relief to a number of Uasin Gishu and Nandi residents who have been crying foul for being shortchanged by recruitment and consultancy agency of a promise to send them abroad for jobs. The County Assembly of Uasin Gishu has started a probe into the matter by inviting both parties with members of the assembly, promising to get to the end of the matter. Now, the said residents have been accusing the agency of shortchanging them after paying large sums of money to travel to Qatar for World Cup jobs. Stakeholders are now calling on proper laws to govern the agencies in the country. And this is one particular story that our very own reporters were taking a look at before the World Cup started. And some of these residents of those particular counties, were saying that they actually want their jobs, these particular contracts, to actually travel to that particular place to Qatar for World Cup. Take a look at that story.
The other houses were doing a very serious report. We will be seen as a very useful.
Tumekuja hapa National Assembly ya Uasin Gishu. Tunashukuru wametupokea kwa uzuri. Tunashukuru sana. Tulifikiri hawatatupokea kwa sababu tumeomba sana kwa muda mrefu kuhusu first choice ambaye tulitoa hizo pesa 50,000, 40,000, lakini hatukuwa tumesikika na kiongozi yoyote. Lakini tunashukuru sana. Leo wametukubalia na wametusikia. Hasa tunangoja tu tuone penye watakuwa wamefikia.
Nataka these agencies iwe streamlined. Tuwe na oversight katika hizi agencies. Saa zingine hata kustaki mtu katika police peke yake is not enough, ama kupeleka mtu kotini is not enough. Tunataka sheria iwe strengthened katika how agencies work and operate in this county and the county at large. Karibu mwaka huu tumekuwa tukisikia watu wakiumia katika Saudi Arabia, katika Qatar, katika wapi. Is kwa sababu these agencies hakuna sheria ambaye inawa govern.
Jambo ambalo limewapa nguvu ni petition ya wale ambao wameitishwa pesa, wamelipa, hasa wale walikuwa waende Qatar na wengi wanasema hawakwenda. Walipoleta petition ikaangaliwa, ikaonekana imeweza kupita.
Quite sad. Imagine having bought all those particular clothes and bags to travel to Qatar and you just don't go. Hopefully they and will travel to Qatar one day. Now, that is all that we had for you. Let us get into the world of business. And first and foremost, the High Court has ordered Safaricom and the Central Bank of Kenya to suspend the reintroduction of charges for transactions between mobile money wallets, that is MOMO, and bank accounts. The reintroduction was to take effect from January 2023. Milimani Law Court Judge Mugure Thande issued the order following an application filed by one Moses Wafula. The transaction charges were waived in March 2020 as part of COVID-19 emergency measures to help ease the cost of living. Now, however, CBK in a press release issued on December 6th says that the new charges that were to take effect will be lower than the previous charges before the emergency measure. The order by Justice Thande will be in force until January 23rd, when the matter will be mentioned for further directions. Negotiations to admit Somalia into the East African Community, that is EAC, have commenced, a move that is sent to boost the economy of the region by increasing the current annual income of $10 billion to the projected target of $20 billion. Now, if successful, the country's entrance will increase the number of member states to 8 following the DRC's admission a year ago. Take a look.
May I welcome
The East African Community may by the end of 2023 receive a new member if Somalia's application will be approved.
Should the community.
The war-torn country expressed its interest in July 2022, and the application was okayed by the summit, which includes the head of state for the member countries.
After the election of the Speaker of Yala 2017,
according to the Secretary General of EAC, Dr. Peter Mutuku Mathuki, the entry of Somalia will help boost the economy of the region by increasing the current annual income of $10 billion to the projected target of $20 billion.
You've seen already we have had 3 conclaves, what we used to call the conclaves. All of them held in Nairobi and successfully. So bringing all the rebel groups to Nairobi to ensure that we understand what their issues are. And that already we can say is a good progress.
The high number of insecurity cases in Somalia may however raise eyebrows, but according to the Secretary General, it will be easy to handle the challenge as a region.
In terms of tourism, we could work with them and support them and ensure that now, indeed, East Africa remains the tourism hub in Africa. And that is possible. So if now, whatever problem Somalia has, and we work with them closely, we help them out, it becomes easy to manage Somalia within the framework of East Africa.
However, if Somalia may be admitted to the bloc, it will come bearing goodies as it boasts of the largest coastline in Africa of over 3,200 kilometers. The expanded coastline will be a major boost to the regional economy, even as the member states push for the adoption of a common market, common currency, and free entry in each of the countries.
Talking of now the East African community of 300 million people. And when we look at it like a market that is available for business community, for people looking for opportunities in this community. A community now that spans from all the way from Indian Ocean to the Atlantic. And therefore it traverses now there across Africa. So that is why the East African community is the most progressive regional economic bloc in terms of integration.
Somalia's admission may see the number of the member states rise to 8 following the admission of the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, barely a year ago.
And Kenya's passport has dropped 2 places in global mobility ranking. It's 73rd, but maintained at the 8th most powerful in the continent. According to the report released by Henley Passport Index, shows an increase from 72 to 73 countries from last year. Of the countries Kenyans can visit without visa or obtain one on arrival. The mobility score measures the number of countries a person holding Kenyan passport can visit without visa or get one on arrival. Now, in the report, Mauritius' position is position 34 globally and position 1 in Africa, followed by South Africa, while Japan is the strongest and allows users to visit 193 countries visa-free. And from counting matters money to counting scores in the world of sports. And we begin with one particular story that has everyone talking. Tanzania's showboating pro boxer Karim Mandonga, alias Mtukazi, has sent a warning to his opponent Daniel Wanyonyi ahead of the 10-rounder super middleweight non-title bout at the KICC Ballroom on Saturday night. Mandonga has vowed to punish Daniel Wanyonyi, adding that he will not consider Wanyonyi decorated tale of the tape, which stands at 27 fights, including 22 knockouts, 14 losses and 2 draws. Now he has called upon the fans to turn up in large numbers to witness the biggest Saturday night fight, adding that the government, investors and sponsors should support local boxing.
Karim Mandonga nimefly. Mwingine mmoja hapa kwanza. Yaani huyu Wanyoni nilimtumia ripoti mapema nikiwa katika msitu wa Kenya. Niliingia katika msitu wa Kenya bila Wakenya wenyewe kujua kwamba nimekuja na ngumi ya kigeni. Hii ngumi imetoka Ukraine kwenye mlipuko wa mabomu. Yaani mabomu yalipolipuka Ukraine ndio ikazaliwa ngumi katikati. Hii ngumi inaitwa sugunyo. Hii sugunyo ni hatari. Na watu wengi hawajui neno maana sugunyo ni nini. Watapata maana siku ya kuingia kwenye fighting ndio watajua ile ngumi inaitwa sugunyo ina kazi gani kutoka Ukraine kwenye mlipuko wa mabomu. Hii ngumi kaletewa Wanyoni. Bana anatakiwa awe makini kwa Mandonga Mtukazi. Mandonga Mtukazi ni mtu wa kazi. Hiyo ngumi sugunyo akipigwa kwenye tumbo kama hajavaa pampers ataharibu hali ya hewa. Walokuwa katika ukumbi huo wataanza kushangaa sana. Watakuwa katika KICC watastuka. Bwana Mandonga Mtukazi aliyoongea ndio haya yanayotokea. Kwa hiyo Wakenya naomba sana waje kwa wingi na waje waangalie fighting. Sawa bwana, nitashiriki Uingereza kwa sababu ya Kenya tu na tiketi yangu kaishikilia Wanyoni. Bwana ndio maana nimemletea ngumi ya kigeni kutoka Ukraine. Mlipuko huo lazima ukamlipukie na yeye.
Now Saturday night will definitely be expecting that particular match. Hopefully he wins for his sake, because if he does loses, KOT will be on him. Now, KCB Football Club has intensified its preparations for the upcoming FKF Premier League clash against Kariobangi Sharks on Saturday afternoon. The Bankers moved to 3rd place on the log standings after their recent 2-1 triumph over Talanta FC and have now garnered 15 points after 8 matches played. Speaking during KCB training session, head coach Zedekia, that is Zico, says that they have started the year on a high note, winning against Gor and Talanta and hoping that they will maintain their momentum and grab another 3 important points to move up the log.
In terms of squad, tuko na confidence that hii game inakuwa a good outing kwetu. Tuko na confidence tunapata 3 points. Juu hii mwaka tumeanza poa, tumepiga win back to back. Na hiyo ilikuwa problem last year, but hii mwaka tuko na confidence. Juu tushashinda game 2, so the third one tuna imani tunaenda kushinda. Kila mtu kwa training ako na hiyo courage that tunaenda kushinda hii game.
Winning away is always difficult. So if we can do it away, that means that we just need to do something right in our home matches, then we'll start winning. For us as a team, we are just focused on winning each and every match which is coming on our way, because it's too early to start looking at the table. So for us, we are just focusing in each and every match and try as much as possible to win, go in with a good plan to win all the 3 points in each and every match we play. It doesn't matter whether we play home or we play away, we will always play to win.
And the national's youth hockey team continues with their preparation ahead of the 4th edition of the Africa Youth Games slated for the Easter holidays. The 12-man squad, which is in camp is on an intense training program to ensure the youth are ready enough for the games, with a direct cast for August for the Youth Commonwealth Games. Speaking during the morning training session, the team's head coach Kelvin Lugalia spoke on the development and the impact of the team being on the camp.
Very important to us. It will help us in the future.
With this kind of training, it has a great impact on the players that we have on the field. These are players who've been taken from diverse backgrounds. Most of the players have never been in this camp before. We have 2 or 3 who've been here before. And we thank NOC for organizing such a camp, because we know through this, then the players will develop their skills. We have 12 players in camp. We have one-on-one training with them. We believe that we shall make them better players. Already, most of them have the basics of the game. We need to develop them to reach the level of international levels where they can compete at that particular level.
Now, meanwhile, 65 local football coaches have started the CAFD coaching training at Hospital Hill High School. Among the coaches participating in the course is police officer Johnston Itale, who uses soccer to curb crime in Kibagari slums, and former Tusker FC captain Joseph Shikokoti.
Kuna hiyo passion. Kama wewe ni ulikuwa umeshachezaga, kama mimi nilikuwa nimecheza ball, sasa nimekuwa na hiyo passion ya kuja kucoach tena. Sasa ndo maana niko hapa.
We knew very well that we cannot curb crime by the use of the rifle alone. And through sports, indeed we have really excelled. We have made to curb crime into the community. When I came at around 2012, very many youths were dying, were being killed because of stealing and robbery. But right now, as we speak, those days are no longer at that place.
Mostly I deal with deaf ladies, and I hope they can also open other courses for deaf people so that they can learn coaching, and also they can coach the other deaf people.
And that is all that we had for you this beautiful Thursday evening. Have yourselves, on behalf of everyone who made